Okay, so we're going to learn now. We're going to shift from we've been talking to somebody about the Philippines and then India and the Southeast Asian region. Now I'm very pleased to welcome Bryan Carroll, who's the co-founder and CEO of TNEX in Vietnam. And Bryan, I'm not sure which part of the world you're in right now because travel has just started to open up. But
I left Abu Dhabi late last night, and I'm currently sitting in Ireland. And I'd love an API back to the heat in Vietnam or Abu Dhabi at the moment. So it's been a bit of a crazy few weeks.
Well, I'm glad we were able to catch you at a time when you're on the ground. We haven't figured out exactly how to connect people while they're flying to a conference, but I'm really intrigued about what you've done with TNEX in Vietnam, because when people think digital bank, they think, okay, what's the range of banking services? How do I get people to open accounts? But I think you've taken a very more outwardly looking, customer focused view on this, and I'm keen to hear what you've been able to achieve.
Okay, so thanks Apidays, and thanks John for giving me an opportunity to share why a middle-aged Irish man landed Vietnam 3 years ago and decided that he wanted to go there to launch their first digital-only bank. So it's been an interesting journey, and as I'm sure a lot of the speakers will tell you, not an easy one, but definitely a rewarding one. So when I was looking for my next challenge in my career, there was one thing I wanted to do, which was to create a bank at scale that its purpose was inclusion. So as I looked around and did my research and talked to my friends and family and mentors, I looked at Vietnam, and I thankfully ended up in Vietnam. And if we look at Vietnam is a large population. As we can see, there's 98 million people. It's heavily digitally penetrated and obsessed about digital. You see the amount of internet users with 68 million, mobile phone connections. As you can see, people have more than one phone. If you look at the 149 unregistered population. What was really interesting to me was it's a very, very young country. And it's a country where people are living. There's been a lot of talk about the metaverse over the last few months. In fact, people have been living in a metaverse, in a phone-verse in Vietnam for quite a period of time, spending on average 6 hours and 30 minutes a day engaging with digital, which, as I can tell you, is quite difficult when you're a CEO of a bank to make sure that you're getting the throughput you need from staff. It's also arguably the most unbanked country in Southeast Asia. As you can see, underbanked or unbanked is high. It's dramatically high. But at the same time, we're seeing a rise in the middle class. We're seeing the influx of FDI. So it's a young, educated population, large population that's experiencing, as you can see, an enviable GDP growth from where I'm sitting in Europe at the moment, with an expected 6 to 6.5. And the government has been very active in pushing the digital agenda. As I think your previous speaker, kind of outlined, we're at an earlier stage, but we're playing catch up quickly, and the government is being quite step forward on it. So, if you look within the population, the unbanked population of Vietnam, we're not fishing in the entire lake. We're fishing, or we're focusing on Gen Z, which you can see has a TAM of 13 million. But quite interesting, as you can see, it's low income. It's typically about $3,000 US per year. Now, that's a challenge, because to make a margin or to acquire customers, so CAC, or to have a viable CLV, or customer lifetime value, and to maintain those ratios is difficult, because where banks that focus more on mass affluent or affluent type segments, they can trade in digital dollars. Our model is built on digital cents. We actually acquire customers for less than $3 on average per annum. What's also quite exciting about the market is that in 2025, 33% of the working age population is going to be Gen Z. So we're building now for their needs and to hopefully accompany them through their life journeys. On the other side, our Gen Zs, do not live in the large department stores, do not go to the big brand restaurant chains. They live their lives and most aspects of their lives with the micro SME in Vietnam, which is also heavily unbanked. There are about 4 million of these estimated in Vietnam, which make up about 90%, or 97% of all enterprises in Vietnam. And they account for, in 2020, I still haven't the 2021 figure, unfortunately, but they were accounting for 50% of retail trade, or in dollars, $100 billion. Now, of course, when, as I say, it's not my first digital bank. And typically in a traditional bank, you'd look at the traditional barriers, particularly in emerging countries like Vietnam. You can see banking's too expensive. These data came from literally 1,000 hours of interviews. Banking is too expensive for our customers. Our customers, every dollar, every dong is extremely important. And the value proposition of giving your money to a third party and then being charged for that doesn't make any sense when, as you know, fundamentally Vietnam, you can live on cash. It's a cash-based economy. We saw to a lesser extent, well, my father has a bank account, so if I ever need a bank account, I can use that. Obviously, the geographical issues in Vietnam, it's a very long country. It's a country that's developing infrastructure, but still it's difficult to get to the higher villages in the mountains in Sapa in the north, or to make Kong Delta. It would be hard to put a branch, a physical presence there. And of course, the key thing which banking revolves around, it doesn't matter if you're serving super rich to mass, to people who are struggling. It's about trust. And trust, obviously, is a key enabler of all banking, as I said. So we wanted to go beyond that. The first hire in TNEX wasn't a IT person, wasn't a risk person, product person. It was actually a psychologist. And the second hire was a sociologist. Because I wanted to twin with the lives of our customers, because we saw very, very clearly that our customers didn't see any value in having a bank account. And in fact, you can live quite comfortably in Vietnam with never having a bank account, as you saw from the previous stats. But what we wanted to do was not to embed finance. We started with customer. We wanted to embed in the customer's lives. And finance appears only when it's required. It is, in fact, invisible to most extents. We wanted to speak to our customers in a language that they understood. The financial literacy index in Vietnam is low. It's in the 30s and 40s, which would be obviously in stark contrast to the likes of Singapore. So we spent many, many, many long hours with our customers, our potential customers, looking at what they did and what they do on a daily basis. How do they live their lives? And what do they spend their money on a daily basis? And we, out of that, it started, I suppose, myself and the team. That's where we started. We didn't start with banking. We started with, what do our customers need to live their lives better? And our proposition developed from there. In fact, if we look at our consumer proposition is based up on 4 platforms or 4 channels within our consumer app. If I start from chat, inside our app, we have our own chat capability where customers can create community, can talk to each other. They can pay by message, similar to, a WhatsApp in India. They can rate merchants, and I will get onto that in a second. They can rate services, and they can, interact with their friends, send them messages, create savings groups, and just generally converse. On the banking side, yeah, we have delivered, arguably one of the most advanced digital platforms in Southeast Asia. But banking is a commodity, and I'll come on to that right now. If I wanted to, I'm looking at banking from a perspective that it's similar now to, as the choices become more and more, it's similar to rubber, water, gold. It's a commodity. And if you're just playing on a commodity, like all commodities, you're going to come down to the lowest price, and the customer will pick that price. Now, I can't play in that space. I don't want to play in that space. We wanted to go beyond being a commodity. In our banking, we provide CASA, we provide virtual cards, debit cards, payments, bill pays, etc. And in Q3, we'll be launching lending and micro investments. So those are working. Our data science teams are working long hours at the moment to put that model in place. We also concentrate very much on financial wellness. So in our app, we spent about 3 months deciding our emoji set. It comes back to financial inclusion. Our customers speak emojis a lot of the time, so we developed our own emoji set, and we've created, scary emojis, which there was a suggestion should be my face, which I didn't agree with, on when you're going to run out of money. So customers can manage their finances and their budgets on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis in real time, to where they should be spending, what are they spending on food, when are they going to run into trouble, and what advice we can give them. We offer them the ability, we were the first to launch purely digital 3-click insurance. Our customers don't have cars, they have motorbikes. There are about 60 million motorbikes in Vietnam. And we in partnership with an exciting fintech here in Vietnam, we created that proposition. We also introduced a gig economy approach, where our customers can earn money by being brand ambassadors, by introducing friends, or by improving their financial wellness. And I'll explain to that in a few minutes. On the health side, when you log on to our app, we ask you how you feel. How do you feel today? Did you eat well? Did you sleep well? Did you play too many video games? And we give advice, etc., on how to manage your emotional health, because our customers told us they wanted to be able to manage that better, their wellness. And we also provide step counter and where you can track your physical health against your peers and against your own trend. On the marketplace side, which we'll move to now, on the marketplace side, our customers, as I said, shop in small micro SMEs. But our micro SMEs are not digital. They're small, they're the street stalls, they don't have shop fronts typically, but they're the very heart of the shopping experience or the lifetime experience of our customers, Gen Z. So what on the marketplace side, we created a second application where our micro SMEs can actually go digital. And we provide them the ability to accept digital payments. We created TNEX Pay, which is a closed loop payment system that terminates in QR. Why? Because our micro SMEs didn't want to lose margin through fees. So we provide that free. They can also launch campaigns using our data science. If they've got a full pot of soup and it's 4 o'clock, they can target in real time people that previously shopped in there or previously ate in their stall, or people that have eaten this product in 3-kilometer radius between a particular age or whatever. So we give that ability. Also sales insights, allowing them with bookkeeping. They can see market trends. They can chat directly with our customers. And of course, we give them free banking. They also act as mini merchants or mini agents for our products. So if they sell insurance or they sell other products to our customers, we reward them. Now, both these propositions are actually linked by energy, which is a earn and burn currency. And that earn and burn currency can be earned either primarily on our consumer side by doing good banking or lifestyle behavior. If they do good life, they look after their health, they're managing their money correctly, we reward them with energy. We also reward them as well with the ability to spin our lucky wheel. from a game tech type perspective. If they are using their car, managing their health, managing their total lifestyle holistically, we give them the ability to spin a wheel and win energy or win other prizes based on that. We took a completely different view to building the app. And I know I'm going quickly, but there's a lot to get through. Our customers spend on average 1 hour and 15 minutes playing games every day. So when I decided to put this proposition together, I didn't go to an SI. I went to a gaming company in Ho Chi Minh, which was quite an interesting conversation with their CEO. And I said, I want you to build me a banking UI UX. And that allows our customers, gives them a language which they understand, which they speak, and to interact in a way which they're comfortable with. So as you can see, the emoji-driven PFM, they can even add cash transactions and we categorize them. They can track their health. And also, if you see in the middle, we provide what's called vitamin T, which is vitamin TNEX, which sits around the whole app and pops up with advice. So if you have spending problems, health problems, we step up and you can look and see what the best practice or possibly what type of action you should take. And that's delivered through blog content or real-time push notification content. And as well, they can visit what we call our merchants. Actually, when they're putting their products into our ecosystem, they end up on planets, and Planet Food, Planet Education. We've about 7 planets and growing. Planet Accommodation, for example, Planet Health. And our customers can go and get offers. They can book the order, generate a QR code, and go and collect that order with the merchant. On the merchant side, we look at what we've done as the operating system to allowing our merchants to go digital. These are poor merchants, they're small merchants. But now when they log on, we generate a real-time sales website for them. I've talked to many of the small stallholders who are very proud of their website, and as they launch their products, they appear on the website. Our customers can access it through our planets or our ecosystem for the consumer side. We've given them inventory management, order management, the ability, as I say, to campaign in real time, and the ability to interact with their customers in real time. Of course, in order to do this, guys, and it's, I don't believe financial inclusion can happen without the adoption of digital. Why? Because it hasn't happened in the past. Why? Because it's too expensive for banks traditionally to manufacture and distribute products sustainably. And I think the days of startup banks relying on valuation, not profitability, are waning. They're going away. So we run this as a business. Of course, we will reach profitability in the next 18 months. So in order to do that, we need an architecture that allowed us, number one, to enable our culture, which is really important, of innovation, of fail fast forward, but also one that kept costs low and allowed us to innovate and grow revenue. Everything within our stack is open source. Everything is API'd internally and externally. We worked with AWS to make it very secure and scalable. Everything is modular, event-driven, and API first. We adopt a low-code approach, so a platform approach to what we're doing, which allows us to, on average, to release on a weekly basis, either in more depth in existing features or new features. And as our customers know, the application is very vibrant. It's consistently about using our data science. As you can see, everything is wrapped in data science. Everybody in TNEX has got data science, from our eKYC analysts to me. So we manage and monitor everything, to our IT guys, from performance, scalability, security, to our risk people. So we don't use, I try and have as least amount of people as I possibly can in the digital bank, because we're a digital bank. We should enable it by data, by workflows, not by long-running business process management, but by distinct low-code modular workflows that allow us to respond to our customers' needs quickly. APIs, obviously have allowed us to integrate with now 3 fintechs very, very quickly, but also allows us to plumb internally to allow us to generate safe change quickly, and that is sensitized to our customer. Another big theme is everything we do, we're very carbon conscious. I publicly said we'll be carbon neutral by 2023. And we are very, very strongly in favor of sustainability, but by design, not sustainability by large offset. So to kind of wrap up, this is kind of a potential day in the life of one of our customers. You know, our customers wake up, they check their balance. Okay, you know, 7 out of 10 transactions typically in a digital, in any digital interface for banking or BTO, check your balance on your transactions. But they also check their budget. Where do I stand? How much money do I have to spend? Am I getting into trouble? They can go on a Planet Food and buy a banh mi, a sandwich for breakfast. They can buy a bus ticket on Planet Transport. And then while they're traveling, look at Vitamin T, which is, you know, about education, which is key to, you know, generating trust and helping our customers live their lives more holistically, financially, and both physically and in a emotionally better way. They track their mood. We typically about 9 o'clock, most people are tracking their mood. They could renew their insurance. Obviously, that's a once-off. They're obviously doing it on a daily basis. They can chat with their friends and pay. Maybe they owe their friends money. They can pay by message or send pictures or interact. After lunch, you know, obviously after lunch, they can top up their phone. They can pay their utility bills, or they can actually try for a lucky prize. So every time that you do something that's positive around your health or your financial management or financial wellness, we reward you with points. And you can spin currently up to 5 times. It's a current campaign we're running. And, you know, maybe win an insurance policy. But this is all based on you interacting and understanding the value proposition. You know, in the evening, they can go to our card works across all ATMs in Vietnam. Obviously, POS penetration is low, but in those that do have a POS, they can pay with a TNEX debit card or blue card. We're launching Planet TNEX games. Will launch in the next 2 weeks, where they can play games which are linked to their financial health, but they're also fun. They have leaderboard-led type campaigning, because our customers like to interact that way. And we want them to bring them into the ecosystem to demonstrate the value that banking can have when it's embedded in your life, but is not the first thing in your life. We talk very much in TNEX about second part of the sentence banking. We don't believe anyone in the history of mankind has said, I want to make a payment, I want a loan, full stop. The value is to be found in the second part of the sentence. I want a loan to have my education, to pay for my education. I'm paying because I want a coffee. So it's very much on that second part. And typically we see a lot of our customers at the end of the day review their physical health and mood. And I'll stop there because I'm running out of time. So apologies, John. I see you staring at me accusatorily.
I'm not staring. I'm not accusing you of anything. I think it's in your mind, Brian. You have a guilty conscience, I think.
I have a guilty conscience. So that's me on my sixpence in a whirlwind tour of what we've been doing.
Well, thanks very much for sharing that, Brian. I'm going to hold most of my questions because I think that in the panel discussion you're on later after our break, that with Zenon, Zenon will draw out a number of those things. But we do have a question from the audience asking, how did you choose AWS as your cloud vendor? I think there's probably a why did you choose AWS as your cloud vendor there, and how did you address any regulatory issues or of that nature with operating in Vietnam?
We didn't choose AWS starting with cloud. I looked at AWS and the services they could provide to me in a platform approach. So, for example, when we're doing customer communication management, we use Pinpoint. When we're doing event streaming for some of our data flows, we use Kinesis. When we're looking at some of our ML and our recommendation work, these tools were more readily available and more mature in AWS. Now, of course, we've seen Azure pick up the pace really well. We've seen what IBM are beginning to do. Maybe Big Blue Giant is awakening up in this space, which is great to see. But none of them had the breadth of tooling and platform that I need to launch a bank in 9 months. Now, we launched 2 banks in 9 months, from front to back, and AWS was that. And it scored exceedingly well. Also for partnership, AWS has been not a vendor to us, they've been a partner. And in those dark moments when you're launching anything, they've been there. And that has been a phenomenally important part of our success. On the reg side, everybody who reads reg who's a banker. There's an old saying in banking, a risk person, at birth, they remove the word yes. Okay? Because that's the way we think in traditional banking. In fact, even though we look at mitigation, we're looking for zero risk, okay? But as a digital guy, I look at regulation and I look and see what it's actually saying rather than taking a no view. In Vietnam, cloud is not prohibited, but it is strictly controlled, particularly on data sovereignty, similar to other jurisdictions in the Middle East, Russia, all in those areas. So obviously I don't want to share the secret sauce because it is secret, but we we align fully to the regulations of the central bank. Similar to other digital banks here that are emerging, like the work that Cake is doing, which is absolutely phenomenal. They're showing great success, and Timo and Eubank.
Great. Well, thanks for addressing that. See, our audience member who asked that question is very happy that you responded in such detail. So, as I said, we're going to hear from you again in the panel discussion that Zenon is running after the break. Thanks very much for sharing the TNEX journey, and I look forward to hearing more in the discussion panel.
Thank you, Joe.